Hi, this is Elizabeth, one of the co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Your Life Matters podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Mariah White, and I am a passionate pediatric nurse practitioner and fired up health and happiness coach, here to deliver a message to you. This podcast is meant to provide a hope and a dream that fuels your soul to dream big and to dream bold and to inspire and empower you to live out your wildest freaking dreams and to grab a hold onto the unwavering truth that you were made for more. What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. I am so grateful you're here. I am so proud and so honored that you are listening to yet another episode of Your Life Matters. Before we get started on this episode, just ask you, I really empower you. I am inspired by you, and I'm so grateful that you are a listener. But in order for this podcast to really take off and to continue to do amazing things like the things that we accomplished in 2019 and leading charts and leaderboards and really putting a message out to everyone that your life matters, it starts with you leaving a rating and a review. Please head over to whether it's iTunes or Spotify or another app that you're listening to this amazing podcast on. I ask you, let me know your heart, your soul, what you're thinking about, what's helpful. Message me on social media. Go ahead and add me at Dr. Fit White on Instagram, Mariah Karen White on Facebook. And what you can even do now is go over to Your Life Matters podcast and sign me up as a friend on Instagram. It has its own platform, its own focus, its own place for us to really, truly connect with one another. Because I believe that this community of people sharing all over the world this message that your life matters really needed a place to feel home and connected. So please message me. Please leave a rating or review. Please tag me. And I want to share you to my story because I love hearing messages of how this has really changed and impacted your life. So now that we have really dug into the groundwork of 2019 and reflection and being proud of what we freaking accomplished, and if you haven't heard it already, I am proud of who you became in 2019. The growth you had, the pain, the trials, the tribulations, the hardships that you've overcome. You are freaking amazing. You need to give yourself a pat on the back. You need to feel my energy as a hug through this phone or whatever device you're listening in, because you are amazing. You became a human of unbelievable intention and abilities and capabilities and just reverence for life in 2019. And how do I know that? Because you're here and you're listening to this. And this is in your ear right now telling you that I'm proud of you. You have someone cheering in your section, in your bench, in your sideline, telling you they believe in you. So I'm proud of you and I'm excited. And then you dove into the next episode of how we set a goal and a word and intentions for 2020. So as we wrap up this series, I really want to talk to you about the categories of setting the 2020 visions. So we did our reflection of 2019. We created a word that overall encompassed our why, but how are we really going to tackle these next 5 categories so that we really stay convicted and consistent in what our dream is for not just the year, not just for the decade, but for the rest of our life. I want you to literally just write it down. You know me, I said this last time, that brain to your hand to the paper sets a scientific, it's not even a word, scientific, real life connection between your body, your mind, your spirit, and your capability in this life. I want you to have the affirmation and the purpose behind what you're writing to set a bigger, deep-rooted why into how you can accomplish this. So the very first thing that I want you to write down are 2020 vision categories. And then I want you to label it 1 through 5, because we're going to go through these. And I want you to really think not just about what the category is, but what my goal in this category will do for my life. So in the first one, relationships. Relationships are everything, and that's why it's number 1. Guys, you need to understand that when relationships, and I know you all can hear me on this, when a relationship in your life, whether it is with a sibling or a spouse or a loved one or a significant other or a partner or your kids, when a relationship in your life is up in turmoil, it kind of just throws everything off, does it not? Like, say you get into a really bad argument with your partner and it just sets the tone for just this crappy feeling of like, now we got into a fight. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I just want to like sit on the couch and eat Ben and Jerry's, like kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm by myself. Who knows? You could all be like, right, by yourself, whatever. I love Tonight Dough, and I am not ashamed of it. It is my jam. Ice cream is like a second heartbeat for me. So anyway, what can you relate to in terms of your goals for relationships? Well, for me, a really big goal in my relationship is to set present moments where I really have connection and I feel loved, and I try to have open communication, and I really make an effort to be present in the moment. When we're having dinner together as a family, I try not to be on my phone. When it is outside of my business hours, I try really hard to be present and showcase that this business isn't consuming. It is just what I do, and it brings a sense of freedom to my family and what's possible. I don't want it to be a burden or something that they resent in any way, shape, or form. I want them to know that I build this business and this legacy and this dream because I have a bigger dream and a vision for our family and for our life and for me. So when I think about the categories of relationships, I think about the relationship just in a deep level of wanting to be an extraordinary mother, to be an extraordinary wife, and in a relationship that is just thriving and based around communication and openness, and have a really great relationship with my family to where there's love in this home and feeling of acceptance and belonging and freedom to just be it themselves and expression and all of those things. And that matters to me. So for you, what vision goal can you set for your relationship? Well, that's my overall why, right? That's not very tangible. I can't really grab at those. So what can I do during dinner time? Really make sure my phone is down and be present. When it is my business hour or I'm really pushing for a goal, I can set the intention of having open communication of, hey, I need to set a goal, but these are my business hours. This week, I might have to extend my business hours, so I might have to work through lunch or dinner. I won't be as present, but I'll do my best to make it up to you. Or saying, hey, date night once a month has to happen, non-negotiable. I want to be able to spend time. I want to be able to every Tuesday put my phone down and really have that be my day off with my daughter and take her places and experience different things and make sure that I am really connected with the girls and giving them my best self, because there's a difference in what I heard from a very dear friend of mine. Are you giving your family the best of you, or are you giving your family the rest of you? And that sat hard on my soul, because I literally thought to myself, man, I don't want to come home and feel like the very first thing I need to do is grab a glass of wine, because it's been such a hard day and patients have just been like making my brain hurt. And I've been overworked and seeing a million patients, and I feel overwhelmed with work and the way that the situation is and all of these different things that I feel like I'm trapped, and that the only way that I can get out is through a glass of wine or taking a bubble bath. I don't want to feel that way, because then if I'm burnt out at the end of the day, what am I really giving my family? The rest of me, not the best of me. So really, truly working on setting the intention of these are my business hours. Work is work. When I leave work, I'm no longer at work, and being present in the moment with the people that I love the most. Because at the end of the day, at the end of my life, the people that are going to surround me on my deathbed are going to matter the most to me, but I don't want them to say, well, she just was on her phone all the time, or she didn't really make time for any of us, or she wasn't really present. She was always focused on something else. And yeah, she made a lot of money, but she didn't make a really big impact. Like, that is my worst fear. So my relationships mean everything to me because I try to be intentional in every single relationship that I have. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I try very hard to give 110% of myself, my effort, my focus to the people that I love and the people that I have to have a relationship with. So for me, my family is my number one priority, and I am determined to give them the best of me, not the rest of me. So how do I do that? It leads right into number 2 and the visions and the goals that I set for number 2. How can you focus on your career and your ambition? So that's number 2, career and ambition. What goals can you set that are aligned with not just your 9-to-5 or what you do for work or your entrepreneurial business or what you set your intention for, or maybe you're a stay-at-home mom. What career do you have that you can set a goal in that will not just be a career goal, but tie into your ambitions? So I think about where I was 4 years ago as a burnt out, overworked nurse, and I just knew that I was made for more. And I knew I was going back to get my doctorate. I knew I wanted to be a pediatrician. I knew that I wanted all those things, but I knew something was lacking. So when I decided to become a health and happiness coach, it led me to my ambition and my dream and my vision and my creative side to be able to mentor and empower and inspire and collaborate and create this community and tribe and encourage people to feel like they had a place that they belonged in. That was powerful for me. So then it tied into the third one, mind and body. What goals can I set to work on my mind? Well, last episode I talked about bless and release, getting rid of the control, believing that I'm enough. So when I sit there and I focus on my mind, spending mornings really being in my morning routine, waking up at 4 a.m., setting my alarm, not pressing snooze, diving into some personal development, diving into meditation, diving into my 5 a.m. calls with my tribe that I have every single morning, Monday through Saturday. We take Sundays off, and just really connecting with my deep-seated self, and then going right into my body goals. My body goals aren't necessarily getting a 6-pack or this or that. It's feeling good. It's having energy. It's committing to a program. It's starting that program and finishing that program. It's working out 6 days a week and taking the 7th day as rest. Really committing to feeling healthy, trying to eat, 80% clean and 20%, again, going back to Ben & Jerry's on the couch. It's my jam. I'm sorry. I'm not really sorry, actually. Sorry, not sorry is actually what I want to say. So I'm going to say it, but that's my goal. That's my intention. So what goals can I set in mind and body? So say you're in a place where right now your mind's fucked up. Sorry for my language. I apologize. Your mind's messed up and your body is messed up. And right now you're just in a negative space. So you're like, Mariah, I can't even think about body because my mind's not there. I've always said it. You got to fix the first 5 inches across your head before you can do anything. Because when you change your mind, you change your life. What do you need to do right now to change your mind to then help you change your body? What do you need to do? Now, not only do I advocate for mental health, I practice being a part of something that advocates for mental health. So if that means that you need to sit down with your doctor and try and create a plan to help you feel better, please do that. I'm not your psychiatrist. I am not Dr. Mariah White for you right now on this podcast. I'm just here giving you tools and resources. If you need a crisis line or a hotline number or any of those things, please contact me. I'm here as a support. But at the end of the day, I want you to reach out to your doctor so that you can get the help that you need, because sometimes you just need that. And then if you're like, hey, Mariah, I'm not quite there, but I definitely need some help, I'm going to need you to put your pride aside, and I'm going to need you, because you already do it, because you're listening to this podcast, I need you to download audiobooks. I need you to listen to other podcasts. I need you to pour into things that are going to pour into you, because it's exactly how my friend Rachel Hollis said. When you are pouring from a vase, the water is pouring into the vase, right? In the sink, but then you're trying to pour out of it. So the water's not really getting into it, and you're just continuing to pour out from it. So you're not pouring into yourself. You're just giving the little bit that you have. But if you would just stand tall and pour into yourself, the overflow of the water is going to spread out to everyone else. You are going to continue to pour into other people, but if you just pour into yourself first, it goes back to what I said before. You will give the best of you instead of the bare minimum and the rest of you. You have to commit to your 5 inches and your mind and your spirit and your growth before you can ever change your body, before you really can ever set these goals. Honestly, if this becomes the most important part that you have to set goals in, then I challenge you, make number 3, mind and body, the biggest, most monumental, life-altering focus of 2020. Because 2020 is just year 1 out of the next 10 years. And once you get mind under control, you'll get body out of control, and then you'll move into number 4, passion and joy. What goals do you want to set? What vision do you have? What is your deep-seated why for what your life is going to look like when you are in congruence and harmony and alignment with your passion and your joy and your reverence for life? There's something that my friend Brandon Bouchard said. He's amazing, he's brilliant, and I love hearing him speak. When he was hit with a life-altering state, when he was on, knocking on death's door, he was at a place where he was thinking about all of his life accomplishments and all the things he had gone through. And he asked himself 3 questions. If I were to die right now, did I live? Did I love? And did I matter? So when you think about passion and joy and what you're doing in this life and how you're going after your dreams and your accomplishments and your visions, I need your visions to line up to those 3 things. Did you live? Did you love? And did you matter? Because to me, you matter a whole heck of a lot. To me, I think you're incredible. To me, I'm cheering you freaking on. But guess what? You have to be your biggest cheerleader. You have to be the one that wakes up instead of hit snooze. You have to be the one that sets the intention to write these goals down and do it. You have to be the one that goes and seeks out other opportunities of growth and gaining personal development and going after freedoms and aligning your goals and your intentions, no matter what age you are, no matter what race you are, no matter what heritage you come from, no matter what your past look like, no matter what you've gone through in your history. You have to be the one that sets the tone to make the life-altering decision to just freaking leap. You, no one else. I believe in you, but you have to believe in you. And only then will you be able to attack number 5 the way that you're supposed to. Number 5 being wealth and abundance. A lot of times people see it as, if I had more money, I would be able to. If I had more freedom in my finances, I would be able to. If I just could pay for X, Y, and Z, I would free up time here. That is a scarcity mindset and a limiting belief. Money is not hard to come by. You are just not being resourceful. There's a difference between having a lack of resources and a lack of resourcefulness. Because a lot of times, and this is myself included, I can reflect on situations when I'm in a financial hardship and I can say, this sucks and it's not where I want to be, but I can also say, I got myself there, or I put myself in that situation. How do I get myself out? There's a difference. And then when I look at the abundance of what money could give me, there's a different demeanor about that. A lot of times people say, if I had money, I would do or get or have. You already have that. And it's like what I say to my family all the time. I love my family, and that doesn't matter if I'm in this 5-bedroom house that I love and I think is beautiful or a cardboard box. I feel happy and joyful, and I have a wealth, an abundance of love and prosperity and joy and creativity and passion and reverence for life, regardless of, again, if I'm in this house or if I'm in a cardboard box. Because at the end of the day, if I got to a place where I literally, which I had been, you guys remember this, living in my car, I was homeless, I was in that situation, I do not have that belief that even if I did end up on the street again, God forbid, because that is not, I don't even want to speak that into existence. But if I was, I wouldn't worry about it because I already know that I can get out of it because I did it before. So when people say, finances are a hard thing to talk about, or I don't like talking about money, I understand that. But I think you need to set the tone and give yourself props because you overcame a lot. I remember I'm not that person that was living off of food stamps just 5 years ago. I'm here in this different light speaking to you because I've been there. It's hard in the midst of not being able to do or have or spend or have this abundance or feel like you're in a place in your life. And that's even for me, I can speak for myself. I know that feeling. And in that moment, it's hard to see any type of light. But I want you to think, have you been in this situation before? 9 times out of 10, your answer is yes. Have you overcome it? Have you gone through it? Was it just a season? Yeah. You've been in worse situations. So is this really that bad? No. But you need to set an intention for 2020 to never again be there or be in that space and just continue to overcome. Because your wealth and your abundance is something that you can just put out into the universe. The universe has your back. There is a reason why God put in the Bible for me a scripture that I really focus on is He has plans to prosper you. It didn't pick and choose. It didn't say if you're a certain race or you're not, or you're a man or you're a woman or you're this. He has every intention for every single person to have prosperity in this life. You just have to believe that it's there. So as we wrap up today's episode, I just empower you to look at these 5 categories and set a tone, set a standard, set the expectation for your life. That goals need to be set to stretch you. They need to be puke goals. They need to be something that ties in your word for 2020. They need to be something that helps you answer those 3 questions of did I live, did I love, and did I matter? And it needs to set the tone for the decade and for your life. What is that elephant on your chest? Why? What is what you want so badly in this life for not just you, but your family or your future family that's going to continue to have you be consistent and convicted and show up even when it's hard? That's what matters. That's is what's going to help you in this life. That's what's going to help you grow and achieve. So friends, your language forms your world. Your language and the words you use and say form who you are, who you will be, and the life that you're going to live. So choose your words wisely. Breathe belief into these visions and goals. I'm proud of you for joining me for the last 3 times of really setting the tone for a 2020 vision in the year 2020. I really believe that there is some power behind that this is the year of 2020 and it is 2020 and being clear, set, driven, and crisp about what your 2020 goal is. But your 2020 goal is really, truly geared towards your life. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want in this life that is going to set you on a mission to completely align you with who God has created you to be? All right, friends, I love you guys. Thank you for being a part of this series with me. I'm so grateful that you tuned in. I'm so grateful that you continue to listen and shared this episode. Again, leave a rating, leave a review, but I'm so proud of you. I hope that if you needed to, you go back to each of the episodes and really set the intention. Create a word, share it with me, tag me on social media and put your word across it. Create a graphic and be proud of the word. For me, it's unshakable. I am excited to hear all of the incredible stories. I can't wait for January 31st, 2020, or December 31st, 2020, for you guys to tell me that you've achieved most of the goals that we've talked about. Because they're puke goals. You're not going to achieve all of them, but you're going to achieve a lot of them because you've set the intention here today to make it your mission to accomplish anything in this life. All right, friends, I believe in you. And until next Tuesday on another episode of Your Life Matters.